Hey everybody, this is Brian Bertram with Sotheby's International, and thank you so much for downloading my Canadian mortgage app. You're among the first to get it, and I'd love to give you guys an overview of some of the many powerful features this application has. First and foremost, it's a mortgage calculator, hence the name Canadian Mortgage App. It really should be Canadian Mortgage and Real Estate App because you can also search all my property listings across the greater Ottawa MLS area. That said though, if you're outside Ottawa, you can use this app to calculate mortgages across the country. Pretty well every province and territory is included in the calculations on this app. So number one, there's a mortgage calculator. And there's a system to get pre-qualified for mortgages. A purchase calculator, a refinance analyzer. And what is a refinance analyzer, you should ask? Well, refinance analyzer lets you do just that. Helps you analyze your mortgage if you're looking to refinance in the future. And many of us are. We have mortgages that are coming due where we were paying 2.5% and we're looking at paying considerably more. This lets you help calculate what some of those new costs were. Debt service calculator, stress test. What a stress test is that you're held to a higher interest rates when you apply for a mortgage these days. So if right now I think the Canadian bank rate is set at, the Bank of Canada rate is now set at 5%, and always the banks are loaning and the finance companies are loaning at a higher rate. Well, they might ask you to qualify 2 to 3% higher to qualify the loan, even though you're getting a lower rate than that. Income required, land transfer tax, otherwise known in Quebec and other provinces as the welcome tax. Welcome for buying your new home, here's the tax. And your closing costs. Lots of times, the only time you really know the closing costs are when you're sitting in front of your real estate lawyer or your notary as you're trying to close the transaction. You go, whoa, I owe this on the gases or this on property taxes. This helps you calculate some of those closing costs when you're not sitting at home, so you know first and foremost what your costs are going to be. So let's take a look at the mortgage calculator, and I'll get into many of these other components in future videos. So I wanted to give you a quick overview of exactly what the mortgage calculator looks like. I've set some numbers in already because I've been playing with this for a while now. But you can here, look under the payment, you see this little pull down. You can then calculate a variety of different, I guess, depending on what your goals are, you can either figure out the payment, the mortgage amount, interest rate, or the amortization. But we're going to set it right now to, we want to know the payment. That's what most people want to know. Where you see monthly, you can click on the word monthly and you can then come up with some of the advanced options. You can choose the frequency, which is monthly, amortized bi-weekly, weekly, that means 4 times a month. My fingers are dry, I'm on a phone as well. Semi-monthly. You can apply extra payments, we'll get into that later. You can then figure out whether you want a fixed or variable rate. I have left this at fixed, we'll get into that. And the rate of that fixed mortgage I'm setting at 1 year, but you can go up to, I believe, 10. In Ontario, it's always compounded semi-annually. In other provinces, it could be compounded differently. And as you set your province marker, it will calculate accordingly. So right now, it's saying the best rate for a 5-year fixed mortgage is 5.99%. We set the amortization at 25 years, but again, it's a slider here. You can slide it to anything you want. We're going to set it back to 25. You can also click on the years and set it yourself. So you can say 25, done, and it'll set it that way. So you have a couple options. Based on that, it's saying on a 500K mortgage, and here you can slide the mortgage any way you want, but let's just say our example is 500K. It's saying that your monthly payment is $31.96 a month. Now, if you can notice right away that if you slide and you go down, let's say you're going to pay this more aggressively, you're going to pay it off in 20 years. It's saying that the total interest paid, if you notice at the bottom of the page, the total of the interest paid is actually gone down to $353,000. If you increase the amortization, say to 25 years, the payments go down, but interest goes up. Same if you push this out to 30 years, which is the maximum in Ontario. Obviously, interest paid goes up over the term of the loan, but the payments go down. So you can play with that. Now you can also say, well, what happens if I have a 1-year fixed mortgage? What happens in 2 years? Interest rates go back down to where they were a few years ago. Let's say at 3.4% over 30 years, same 30-year amortization, your payments obviously drop a lot. So going into the future, if you believe that interest rates looking out 5-6 years are going to drop accordingly, which I expect they will, out 5 years, they'll start to ease and go down again, but that's just my opinion. Certainly seek other professional guidance. But you can play with this in the mortgage calculator. That's just a quick overview. There's lots and lots of features on here. I could spend an entire hour just looking at the mortgage calculator alone. Again, I'm Brian Bertram. That's my beautiful mug. You'll see me right here. And I would love to give you a hand. I'm with Sotheby's International, and I built this app to help my clients deal with their financial concerns. It's the elephant in the room, and I wanted to deal with it first and foremost. So please reach out. My contact information at the bottom of the page. My email's all over this. My phone number's all over this. You can search for properties at the top of the page if you're looking to buy something, whether that's a commercial property, a single family home, any formal home, even including rental properties, I certainly get involved with across the city. If you love this app, please go in and leave a review. You'll see I have a few great reviews and more coming all the time. This has only been on the market now, this app, just for a few weeks. So more and more people are grabbing it, and as we feel it's ready for prime time, we're going to make it available to everybody. But you guys are among the first. Thanks very much. Send me some feedback, ask me some questions, and I'd love to help. Talk to you soon.